Welcome back to the PulpMX Fantasy Show presented by Maxxis Tire. My name is Donnie, and this week we are heading back east, or at least east enough to get a different batch of 250 riders into the main event at Arlington, Texas. In this video, I have 5 riders I want you to look at this weekend, tips for the FFL, weather report, race day schedule, and an early look at what my team could be come Saturday. And if you want a chance to win an authentic Red Bull KTM O'Neal Marvin Mooskin jersey, be sure to stay tuned until the end of the video. All right, looking at the ins and outs for Arlington, nothing new to show here really. Although Dylan Ferrandis has been seen back on the bike, he will not be racing the Triple Crown this weekend, and we will instead see him in Daytona next weekend. Romano is confirmed to miss the entire season in the 250s, but no word from any of the other factory guys in that class about when they will return. Reminder that the PulpMX Fantasy website has 2 features to help you with injuries. The first is the big red cross flag next to guy's picture to denote an injury. In addition to that, there is a little checkbox at the top of the page, only show riders in AMA qualifying results, to actually hide all the guys that didn't even bother showing up. You can still get a 0 if a guy had an issue after setting at least 1 lap time, so check Twitter if you can before the lockout for all of the latest on injury updates. This weekend, I have 3 riders I want you to look at, 1 guy to stay away from, and a high handicap guy for you gamblers out there. Reminder, this is a Triple Crown weekend, so we will at least know an hour before gates drop who will be in the main events. You should be guaranteed 8 in the main, but with that said, no one is guaranteed double points, as all riders with a handicap over 11 have been reduced to 11, so there is still some risk in picking those guys that are usually long shots. All right, enough general advice, let's get to the riders. First things first, do not pick Chance Hymas. There's nothing wrong with the young HRC Honda rider. In fact, he'll probably do incredibly well, but he's just 1 point ahead of Jordan Smith, who would be the 8th and final All-Star if not for a late crash in Tampa. Smith could beat the 832 here this weekend, leaving Hymas eligible for double points next weekend, and you don't want to miss out on that opportunity at Daytona. This goes for Vial and Thrasher as well, as if either of them have a really bad night, they could end up being worth double points also. A 250 guy that I do like is Talon Hawkins. I'm normally not the kind of guy to pick true rookies, especially in the 250 class, but Talon finished 11th in his debut, and he gets great starts, which will benefit him in the shorter sprint-type main events. He won't blow you away in qualifying, and he might even have to go to the LCQ, but rest assured, Talon is much more a racer than a hot lap kid. 450 side All-Star, how do you not pick Eli Tomac? He's won 4 of 6 this year. His starts have been great, and he's the all-time most winningest rider in Triple Crown history. I have no idea how he still has a 1 handicap despite winning 2/3 of the races this year, but hey, I'll take it. Another 450 guy that's locked onto my team is Adam Cianciarulo. The number 9 had a rough go last weekend after getting bar shit on the 8th lap, but I love in a Triple Crown, especially with a bump up to a 3 handicap. He had his best night of the year at last Triple Crown, going 6, 11, 8 for 9th overall. If he can get out of the gate well all 3 times, this could be the breakout ride of 2023 that we have all been waiting for. The high handicap hero of the round given to a rider with a handicap of 10 or more that I think has a realistic chance to score massive points this weekend if you're the type of person that likes to sweat out a little LCQ action for big payout. But this time it's not really a gamble, as we'll know if he is in or not before we even start, but I am looking at Michael Hicks. I believed in him at the opener at a 7, and I love him here at an 11. He got dead last in Tampa, but notice his DNF percentage is 0. Despite being way off the pace after a crash, he still did every lap. We know he has the speed to be competitive, as he's been straight out of the heat both times, just bad luck in those mains. But this Arena Cross mainstay will definitely benefit from the shorter races in Arlington. Moving on to the FFLs, the 250 is a total crapshoot, man. Thrasher and Vial took the first 2 FFLs. Hunter and J-Mart had the whole shots according to the AMA. Max Anstey, of all people, has the best average first lap position. Normally, I'm all in on you having to pick FFLs at Triple Crowns, but maybe not this weekend, as it is not very clear. 450 side, Sexton picks up his 3rd out of 8 and 2nd in a row, in addition to having the best average start in the class. But this is a very long start straight, and that could definitely favor Eli Tomac and that Star Racing Yamaha between his legs. He had the most in 2022 and got many of them at Triple Crowns as well as long starts. Weather in Texas is chilly, just 42 degrees, but that won't matter as we are in the weather-protected Jerry Dome. The viewing schedule is the same this weekend as it was last week, with the race day live kicking off at 2:30 Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. RotoMoto patrons can expect the enhanced cheat sheet delivered at around 6:30 Eastern before the basic qualifying cheat sheet hits Twitter and Instagram at about an hour before the picks lock and the gates drop at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. Before I show you my early team, I want to talk to you about Maxxis Tire coming on for all 17 rounds so I can deliver these videos for you. You know Maxxis Tire, you know their MX ST tire designed by the king of Supercross and my all-time favorite rider, Jeremy McGrath. It is the newest and most advanced tire in the Maxxis MX lineup, featuring an all-new tread pattern, compound, and composition to provide the stability, predictability, and traction that the upper tiers of motocross demand. Available at your local retailer and also at motosport.com. My Thursday team looks like this. For the fourth time, I have a Lawrence brother as my 250 All-Star with Hunter 0, Jordan Smith at a -1, Talon Hawkins with a 6, and Colin Park looking to bounce back at a 4. 450 side, I have Eli Tomac at a 1, AC at a 3, and right now I have a pair of Hills with Little Hill Justin at a 6, and Big Hill Josh at an 8. The prize for the highest championship score in Arlington will be an autographed Cooper Webb jersey, but if you're not great at fantasy, that is okay. If you want a chance to win an authentic sublimated Marvin Mooskin Red Bull O'Neal jersey, consider joining me over on Patreon for just about $1 per week. Your enter to win race used and autographed memorabilia, and insiders and above double their entries, as well as an exclusive podcast talking fantasy stats on every rider in the field and the enhanced cheat sheets that come out every single Saturday. Link for that will be in the description below. Don't forget to follow PulpMX Fantasy and RotoMoto on both Instagram and Twitter for injury updates as the weekend rolls on, qualifying info, stats and banter throughout the race itself, and those fantasy cheat sheets once qualifying is done and wrapped. Thanks as always for watching the PulpMX Fantasy Show presented by Maxxis. My name is Donnie, and may your chizzes chiz this weekend. Remember that 8 is absolutely great. Most importantly, have fun.